This is a tripod stand for the Generation 3 Starlink Internet Satellite Terminal. I was sent this to review for free. If you want to purchase one, the MSRP is about $99, and I've seen it listed online with a coupon for about $85 overall cost. So in the package, you get an aluminum tripod in a bag and this Starlink terminal adapter. So this guy here is your Gen 3 Starlink terminal. Basically, that snaps into your Starlink terminal, and then here is your connection point that hooks up to the tripod. So the tripod comes with a little storage bag, has a zipper here, and this is the aluminum tripod. So the aluminum adapter bracket here weighs 12 ounces, and the tripod weighs in at 3 pounds 14 ounces. So together the whole package is about 4 pounds 10 ounces. So you can put the adapter in the bag with the tripod. It's not going to fit screwed onto the top of the tripod. So if you want to store this in this bag, you are going to have to keep the adapter kind of separate, and then when you get it out, you'll have to screw it on. Now, it's not difficult to do. You just pop it in, screw it around a few times, tighten it up, and you're ready to go. All right, so this tripod has foam on 2 of these 3 guys. You can kind of grip it and carry it that way. It has this kind of standard thing that pops down. This guy turns in to lock that in place. These feet here have little bitty nubs on them. They turn around, so you put them down and make it flat for wherever you're at. There is a extension up here that you can rotate up a little higher, lock down with this guy in place. You can also take your legs and extend the legs. So each of these legs has 2 cams. It'll pop out, so you can extend each of the legs like that. So with the legs fully extended and the center post fully extended, you have a height here of about 5 feet. Now with the legs fully retracted and the center tube down, your minimum height here is about 23 inches. And obviously, if you can get a clear view of the sky with it at the short position, that'll give you more stability and wind and so forth. So the Starlink Gen 3 aluminum bracket here has a thing about putting a pipe into it, and it looks like this would fit a 1.5 inch pipe pretty well. And so that, if you had just a pipe, you could fit this over a pipe, and it has 2 square holes here where you could put like a carriage bolt or something through that to bolt it to the top of a pipe. Now they have included this guy here, which is kind of an adapter to a 3/8 inch tripod head, and so basically you can just put that in, and it comes with this little threaded thumb screw here that you put in to hold that in place. So this tripod adapter was already installed into the Starlink bracket, so I took this out to show it to you, but typically you would get this out of the package pre-installed and you just screw this onto the top of the tripod. So the Starlink adapter just screws right onto the top of this 3/8 inch tripod head right there. Alright, so construction-wise, this feels like pretty heavy-duty aluminum tripod. The bracket is definitely very strong and heavy-duty. So the main materials here are all aluminum, but there's a lot of metal that looks like steel in the connections, like the screws for these cams, the leg screws, the bolts that hold things together. And so I expect if you left this out 24/7, you might start to see some corrosion and rust on a lot of this hardware. So the main bracket and legs and components aren't going to rust, but there's a lot of metal parts in here. Some of these rivets are aluminum rivets, but a lot of these screws look to be just steel screws. So I don't think that it's completely stainless steel. I think it's aluminum for most of it, but then there's significant little areas where you're going to get rust coming off of it. So this is the only part that's really unique to the Starlink Gen 3. And the only special part, and it's pretty heavy duty, it feels pretty strong. This adapter thing here that's kind of the 1.5 inch pipe to 3/8 inch fitting is aluminum. I don't know about this little screw here. Now this screw that connects it in is feeling like steel. So the tripod itself is a pretty reasonably good quality aluminum heavy-duty tripod. I don't think there's anything special about it, so you could substitute any tripod with a 3/8 inch head here to use with the bracket. Now, assuming you don't have to set the legs out, the setup could be super simple here with this tri-leg design. You could set that thing down and boom, you're out and ready to go, as long as you're not having to extend the can locks on the legs. All right, so this guy's going to get your job done. The only concern I have is for really long-term use, especially out in the weather, you might start seeing some rust from some of the steel hardware as part of the tripod. Of course, the tripod is a pretty generic replaceable part. You could replace it with any other tripod that had a 3/8 inch mounting bolt.